Mike and I are going to talk to you today about the different types of neighborhoods in Las Vegas and what might be right for you. We're going to show you guys the different types of areas in Vegas that might fit what you love or your personality, including, if you're a golfer, a retiree, if you really enjoy the outdoors. Mike, what else do we think we have today?
If you are somebody who is really into the high-end shopping scene or fine dining, we're going to talk to you if you're a bit of an urbanite, if you really like the amenities of living in a downtown area. We're going to talk to you about whether, Justin already mentioned being a retiree, being a golfer, all those different kind of personality archetypes. There's a neighborhood or an area of the Las Vegas Valley that's right for you. Now, as Justin mentioned earlier, the Las Vegas Valley is relatively small, so for the most part, you can pretty much live anywhere in the city. However, if you're the kind of person who likes having those things right there at your fingertips, right just down the road from your home, if you want to be in a very particular environment that suits your particular lifestyle, that's the stuff that we're going to talk to you about today. So we have a list put together. Justin and I spent some time researching it, and plus we're just bringing our experience from living here in Las Vegas, from living the Las Vegas lifestyle and having lots of friends who have lots of different interests. So we have a fairly decent breadth of knowledge on this subject, and we wanted to share it with you because it's important for you when you're considering where you're going to purchase a home. We don't want anybody to have buyer's remorse. When you come work with us at the Moody Olson team to find a home, we want to make sure that not just the home is a right fit for you, but the neighborhood is a right fit for you as well. So Justin, why don't we get into it?
All right. Well, let's start off with one of my passions, golf. I love the golf. Mike loves the golf. And the great thing about Las Vegas is there's a ton of golf course communities, and they wildly range in price. You can get on a golf course community for $350,000, $400,000 in a condo or a townhome, or you can spend millions and millions of dollars living on a private course here in town. So it really depends on your budget and how close you want to be to that course. Mike and I have had the pleasure of golfing some of the nicest courses in town. We've been very lucky. And we also, Mike and I's favorite course is a municipal course. We call it our home course. And that has some great houses around it as well. The communities out there are all over the valley, from the Northwest to central Las Vegas, out to Henderson and even southern Las Vegas. And these houses, again, can be different styles. There are some great 55 and older communities that are on golf courses. These communities really cater to that lifestyle, but which we'll get into that a little bit later. But it really depends on how much you're looking into that lifestyle. How much are you willing to pay for that? But these courses can be public courses or extremely beautiful private courses.
One of the things that I love about Vegas is such a great golf town in general. You almost can't go wrong. If you're somebody who loves golf and you're somebody who wants to make golf a part of your regular everyday life, or you're a regular part of your routine, there's almost no part of Las Vegas that you can't move to and make that happen, right? Even up in the Northeast, which is the area of town I would say that has the least amount of golf courses, you still do have some golf courses up there. It's not necessarily going to be the nicest golf courses or the most golf courses, but there are golf courses up in the Northeast. Of course, where I live in the Northwest, if you guys watched our Northwest video, I live right next to Painted Desert Golf Course. We also have Los Prados just down the road. Mm-hmm. And then, man, if you follow that 215, what I like to call the L, right? Yeah. So 215 down the west side of town, mm-hmm. and then across the south side of town over into Henderson, if you follow that area right there, it's just golf courses all the way. So, you have golf courses in the Northwest, and then of course you have golf courses in Summerlin. Mm-hmm. You have places like Angel Park, places like TPC Summerlin and TPC Las Vegas if you're looking to play some really, really upscale golf. Angel Park is a course that Justin and I play pretty regularly. It's a public course, relatively reasonably priced, but very, very nice. Very, very nice amenities. The course is always in fantastic condition and really, really nice views of the mountains and of some of the resorts in that area. And Angel Park's great because it's got 2 full 18-hole courses and a par 3 9-hole course and a putting course.
And the par 3 you can actually play well into the evening because it's lit.
That's correct. It is lit. Yeah. I've actually played there. I played in a tournament supporting veterans causes, and it was a night tournament. So we played the par 3 there at night. It was fantastic.
They even do leagues.
They do, yes. So. And then, if you're looking to live on a golf course, then you could start looking somewhere like Spanish Trails. right? Or you could start looking at something like Rhodes Ranch is another course that Justin and I have had the pleasure of playing multiple times. That's a private golf course community, but the course itself is open to the public. Again, pretty reasonably priced. I think we played out there for about $90 a person, right? With a cart on a weekend.
Yeah, on a weekend. Yeah.
So reasonably priced. And then over into Henderson. And Henderson is just awash in golf courses. There's so many golf courses out there. You know, public courses, private courses. Justin and I were very, very blessed. Our lending partner, Steve Shower, shout out to Steve. He took us out to go play Dragon Ridge. Yeah. Right? Dragon Ridge.
Gorgeous course.
Easily one of the top 3 courses I've ever played in my life. And probably in the discussion for the nicest course I've ever played. So yeah, you really can't go wrong if you're a golfer. The question is, do you want to live on the course? Do you want to live near the course? Do you want to live in an area that has multiple courses, or are you going to make one course your home? You know, and that's a conversation that you can have with us when you're looking for your home. And being that we know both the golfing, the golfing scene here in Vegas, and of course we're experts in the housing market, we can help you answer that question.
Yes, we're very passionate about golf, so feel free to reach out. We'd be more than happy to answer your questions.
We'd be more happy to go golfing with you.
Absolutely. So Mike, let's talk about a little bit more about some of the lifestyles that you can live here in Las Vegas that people don't know. If people don't know, if you haven't been watching our videos and you notice that Mike is a little bit more bougie than me. Mike likes the nicer, finer things in life.
I do like shiny things.
So I'd like to kind of give Mike the opportunity to talk about that lifestyle.
Okay, so this archetype that we're talking about, this is we called it in our little production notes, we called it the bougie shopper, right? And the bougie shopper is somebody who likes to shop in the upscale areas of town. They like to, buy the labels. They like to look at things like, I like watches. That's one of the things that I'm really into. It's, as Kevin O'Leary calls it, it's a terrible disease. And, and usually that's going to go hand in hand with liking a little bit more of the upscale dining scene. If you're that person, if that archetype describes you, generally speaking, there's a couple areas of town that you're going to want to focus on, right? When I say town, I mean the greater Las Vegas Valley, greater Las Vegas metropolitan area. And of course, right off the top of my head, the first place you're going to start is Summerlin. Oh yeah. Obviously, you guys have seen our downtown Summerlin video.
If you haven't seen it, check it out.
Yeah, you need to check it out, boy. You need to check it out while you still can, because that was one of our very first videos. Yeah. And it's painfully obvious when you watch it. So we're definitely going to be redoing that video at some point in time. We'll probably leave the old one up just for nostalgia purposes, but we're going to have a new and improved version of that Summerlin video coming out, that downtown Summerlin video.
Absolutely.
But if you're into the higher end shopping, honestly, the bulk of the high end shopping in Las Vegas, unfortunately, is on the Strip.
True.
Right? So you have the Fashion Show Mall, and then you have places like the Forum Shops, Caesars,
Planet Hollywood,
the Planet Hollywood. The Wynn has some fantastic shopping down there, right? But I can tell you what, as locals and as somebody who does like the upper end shopping myself, I do occasionally go down there. Sometimes I'll go down to the Fashion Show Mall because there are a few shops in there that's the only place in town I can find them. Occasionally.
Didn't I just lose you at the canal shops at the Venetian in a watch store a couple months ago when we were at a conference?
You did. we were at the conference for Realty One Group at the Venetian, and I may have disappeared into the fine watch store Orologia there at the Venetian for about an hour or so. I don't know. It was a lunch break. I didn't buy anything though, not this time.
Yeah.
I've bought so many watches I had to impose a rule on myself. I'm only allowed to buy a watch now in celebration of a significant event.
There you go.
Right. A major closing, a life event. I had to give myself limits because
Sunday.
That was the problem, is I was buying a watch because it was Sunday. So I gave myself some boundaries and try to keep some semblance of control in my life. But yes, there is a ton of high-end shopping on the Strip. Unfortunately, that means you have to go to the Strip and you have to deal with the tourists and the parking and the even higher than normal prices that people are paying because it is the Strip.
Now, the good thing is if you are living here, you can go to these shops on a Monday or Tuesday night when you get off work, or if you're retired, you can go during the day and they're going to be significantly less busy.
Absolutely. But that being said, if we're taking the Strip out of the equation, we're talking about, hey, where do you want to live? Now, it's possible you do want to live down near the Strip, and we're going to talk about that a little bit when we talk about the urbanite archetype. Yeah. But assuming you don't want to live on the Strip, the places you're going to look. You're going to start with Summerlin, like I said earlier, downtown Summerlin. And there is a lot of shopping that is not part of downtown Summerlin, but it's in that general vicinity. That's where you're going to have a lot of your high-end stores, right? It's where you're going to have the Apple store. It's where you're going to have things like Lululemon and all of the other high-end boutique shops, you know, things like Lucky and of course Dillard's and Macy's and all of those types of stores. So for people who are into that sort of scene, Summerlin's a good place to start. If you don't want to live in Summerlin, the next place I would point you to would be Green Valley Ranch.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? Go down to Green Valley Ranch. You have some great high-end shopping in the district. And then just down the road from there, you also have some fantastic high-end shopping and dining at the town square.
Yeah.
We haven't done a town square video yet, but it is on our radar. So we'll be doing a town square video soon. But there's plenty of great shopping down there. Also plenty of great dining. It's also the home of my favorite whiskey bar in town, Double Helix. So shout out to Double Helix. That place is fantastic.
Yeah. And that reminds me, you know, you've talked a lot about the shopping. Your palate is much more expanded than mine. Talk about some of the dining that you've experienced, some of that higher end dining.
Higher end dining? So honestly, I wouldn't necessarily say that I'm into high-end dining or like fine dining. I do enjoy a good steakhouse.
Yeah.
I am more into what I would call maybe niche dining.
Gotcha.
Right? One of my favorite places in all of Las Vegas, and this is another video we need to do, Justin, is we need to do a video on Chinatown.
Oh yeah.
Right? So Chinatown has some of the absolute best dining that you're gonna find anywhere in Las Vegas. And I would actually argue that when it comes to certain types of cuisine, Chinatown in Las Vegas has some of the best dining in America. There are a few places that I love to go to down there. There's places like, this may catch you guys off guard, but there's actually a tradition, if you've ever been to Japan, specifically to Tokyo, there is a tradition of a Japanese Italian fusion dining.
Okay.
And it's a very, very unique cuisine. It's a cuisine that can be traced back to missionaries going over to Japan, trying to proselytize.
Okay.
Right back in the 1800s.
Well, let me ask you this then. Can I get a chicken parm sushi roll?
I wouldn't rule it out, but I haven't seen one personally.
Okay, just wondering.
But so for instance, there's a restaurant down in Chinatown called Trattoria Nakamura-ya, and it is a Japanese Italian fusion restaurant. My girlfriend and I went in there for lunch one day. Absolutely an amazing meal. Food that you're not gonna find anywhere else. It wasn't what I would call cheap, but it also wasn't out of the world expensive. I wanna say lunch for the two of us with a couple of drinks cost me in the $75 to $100 range. So
okay.
It's not cheap, but also not crazy. Another favorite of mine is Zen curry. I love Japanese curry. It's a very unique take on curry. A lot of people aren't familiar. Usually they're just familiar with Indian curry. So if you're not familiar with Japanese curry, I encourage you to try it. And if you're gonna try it here in Las Vegas, I encourage you to go check out Zen Curry. So that would be some examples of some places that I enjoy eating at. I also enjoy, we've talked about it before, I enjoy, say, the food scene in the Arts District. Right? So in the Arts District, you go down there and you have places like the Nevada Brew Works, which is a great brew pub. And they have elevated, burgers and salads and really, really good food that I really enjoy. Right next to that is Soul Belly Barbecue. I adore Soul Belly Barbecue. It's my favorite barbecue place in the whole city. I know that's a controversial take. A lot of people love John Mull's. Don't get me wrong. I also love John Mull's, but Soul Belly's a little bit more my speed, ambiance wise, and the fact that you have a full bar where you can get cocktails and you can get craft beer. Whereas when you go to John Mull's, you're gonna be sitting on a picnic table outside. There's nothing wrong with that. On the right day, that's exactly the experience I want. But most days I wanna sit down and have a server bring me my food and have a nice cocktail or have a nice craft beer. So that'd be another example of a great place to eat. And honestly, I could just go on and on about the dining in Las Vegas.
Well, that is a good segue because you talked about the Arts District and that area down there. And we want to talk about that urbanite living.
Yes.
That's a great segue into some of the housing and options that you have if you want to live that more urban feel, if you want to live in a more vibrant area. So talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you're looking for that feel, my first question to you is going to be, are you looking for high-rise living? Right? And I think a lot of people kind of sleep on high-rise living in Las Vegas. It's not something that Las Vegas is known for, like maybe, someplace like New York City. But we do have it here, and it's actually very, very nice. So depending on what part of town you want to live in, for the most part, your high-rise living is going to be around the Strip and around downtown. When we talk about downtown Las Vegas, we're referring to the Fremont Street area.
Yeah.
And so if you're somebody who's looking for that urbanite lifestyle, and what I mean by that is you're looking to live in a high-rise condo that is in a large building that's got all of your amenities right there in the building, and that building is located in the heart of an area where there's a lot of stuff going on. So that's kind of how we're defining urbanite living.
Yeah.
So you're going to be looking at either the high rises that are down right there around the Strip, of which there are several, and you can get some really good deals in those high rises. Now, we have to be careful. We need to make sure that the HOA fees are what you're expecting them to be, because some of those HOA fees can get pretty steep. But depending on what you're looking for out of your home, they can be well worth it because of the amenities that those HOA fees provide you.
Especially if you're going to be a part-time Las Vegas resident and you're looking to maybe have an income property. A lot of these downtown units, these condos and high-rise apartments that you can purchase are in a rental program or can be put into a rental program to where they'll manage the entire renting process for you, so that when you're not here, so say you're a snowbird or you travel a lot, when you're not here, you can start generating income on your property.
And that's a legal way to do short-term rentals in Las Vegas. Now, we haven't talked about short-term rentals, and I'm sure at some point in time we'll get into a video about it. But short-term rentals in Las Vegas is a very tricky thing to maneuver.
Not as easy as you would think, for sure.
There's a lot of rules around it, and you can get yourself in trouble pretty quickly, and you can start racking up fines pretty quickly. There's a lot of licensing issues involved. There's limitations as to how many short-term rentals can be allowed in a given neighborhood. And a lot of people think they're just going to come out here and just buy a single-family home and throw it up on Airbnb when they're not here. And you can get yourself in trouble pretty quickly trying to do that.
We've seen fines in the hundreds of thousands of dollars for owners.
Yes, there are ways you can legally have an Airbnb or a VRBO home here in Las Vegas, but it's not as simple as just purchasing a home, throwing it up on the site. There's licensing issues you have to go through. There's permitting that you have to go through. So if that is something you're interested in, make sure you reach out and talk to us. Make sure you're very clear about what your intentions are, because we can help you navigate that process, or we can, if there's something that you need to know that we don't know, because we're not short-term rental experts. We know people who are, and we'll get you the answers to those questions. But if you're looking for an easy way to do it, Justin just gave it to you, right? Go down to one of these high-rise buildings here in Las Vegas, and there's usually a pretty steady supply of them available on the market, right? So it's not typically too difficult to find one. And honestly, the price points can be fairly reasonable as well.
I've seen them as low as like 350, 400,000. And then I have a friend who has one listed right now, MGM Signature, that is Airbnb approved. That's listed for 850,000.
Yeah.
So it just depends on how much you want to spend and how much you want to get back on that investment.
Right.
And the amenities, of course.
Yes, absolutely. And depending on where you want to be. Right? Because you have a lot of options there. So you have everything from, if you want to be up near the downtown area, then you have things like the Ogden, which I actually had a good friend who used to live in the Ogden. It's
beautiful building.
It is an absolutely beautiful building. Walking distance to the Fremont Street experience, more like maybe biking distance to the Arts District.
Yeah.
It's probably about a mile
There's
or so.
also a lot of great high-paying jobs in that area too. So
Tons
if you're
of
working
high-paying
in that
jobs.
industry, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you could catch an Uber from your condo down to the Arts District if you wanted to go out for a night of drinking on, say, First Friday or something like that. It's probably less than $10, $15.
Oh, yeah, for
very,
sure.
very cheap.
For sure.
The Palms has a fantastic,
I have a friend who owns in the Palms.
right? We actually stayed, Stasha and I stayed at the Palms when we went down there to go see a show just maybe 2 months ago. But they have a program where you can purchase a condo there in their auxiliary tower, and then you can put it into their short-term rental program, and they will manage that for you. The Trump has a program like that. So
MGM Signature. There's a half a dozen to 10 different really nice buildings that we could get into. Again, those price ranges are going to be, vastly different, again, depending on what you want. But I think that if that's the lifestyle you want with those amenities right at your fingertips, it's definitely something that we could help you with.
yeah, absolutely. And the price is going to come down to so many things. Obviously, the square footage and the particular building you buy is going to matter, but it's also going to matter as to, like, do you want to be on the second floor or do you want to be on the 32nd floor, right? How great of a view do you want? Do you want a mountain view? Do you want a strip view? Those types of things are going to factor into the pricing as well. But we can help you with that. So if urbanite living is what you're looking for, if high-rise living is what you're looking for, generally speaking, you're going to be looking at downtown Las Vegas, or you're going to be looking not necessarily on, but in the vicinity of the Strip.
Yeah.
So, all right, Justin, what do you got next?
I want to go the completely opposite way. You're talking about that urban living, and I want to talk about somebody who might be a little bit more outdoorsy or want a little bit more of that space in life. So, because as you can tell, I mean, I'm a big hiker.
Huge hiker.
You know, as long as I can carry the pizza up the mountain, I will take that trail. What people forget is Las Vegas is a valley. We're surrounded by mountains, and those mountains all have amazing hiking trails. Mike and I are about 15 minutes from Red Rock right now, about 35, 40 minutes from Charleston, which is covered in snow, which is just really nice. If you're a skier, you can go up there and do some skiing. I'm not saying it's going to be the top resort that you've ever been to, but if you're in a pen and you want to go get some powder time in on your lunch break or right after work, Charleston might be the place for you. But there's just so many different activities that you can do outdoors and even have that living outdoors lifestyle. But a lot of people don't realize that there are a ton of horse properties here in town. We have a very good friend at the office. She has 3 horses. They have an equestrian property. Right around where Mike lives, there are dozens and dozens of equestrian properties, and these properties are beautiful. And they give you access to trails where you can take the horses out, maybe take the kids out and enjoy that lifestyle. We're about 40 minutes from Lake Mead. So if you wanted to get out and get on the boat, if you're a boat lover, you like your jet skis, or you just like to fish, you're about 45 minutes to an hour from putting your boat in the water out at Lake Mead and enjoying that lifestyle. If you enjoy just kind of like the natural beauty of the desert and some of the wildlife, when you drive the Red Rock Loop, which goes from basically Summerlin to Blue Diamond in the south, there's a high probability that you're going to see something that Nevada is very known for: wild horses and wild donkeys. It's just a really fantastic sight to look out your car window and all of a sudden you see a herd of ponies running up and down the desert. And you're like, nobody owns those. Those are just out there doing their thing on public land. You have fishing and hunting and all sorts of different activities that you can really enjoy right here in the valley. And like I said, if you wanted that outdoorsy lifestyle, are you somebody that wants to get up and hop in your kayak first thing in the morning? Well, there's homes available on lakes here in Las Vegas. Stay tuned for that. Mike and I are going to show you some in a later video. We're going to have a video that's going to surprise you on some of the houses that you can buy here in town. So there's just so many different activities. Almost every community in town has hiking and walking trails and green belts, where you can really take advantage of the beauty that the valley has to offer. And yes, I know in the summer it can get hot, but if you get out there early in the mornings, even in the hottest days, it's very tolerable.
Absolutely. If we're talking about somebody who wants to live that outdoor lifestyle, I would want to have a conversation with that person and ask them, drill down a little bit to find out what sort of outdoor activities that they're interested in before I recommended a neighborhood. But just speaking broadly, I would say that there's a couple of neighborhoods here in the Las Vegas Valley that stand out to me as being very attractive to somebody who's into the outdoors lifestyle. The first place I'm going to mention, and I talked about it in the video when I talked to you guys about where I live right here in the Northwest. Mm-hmm. The Northwest is going to be the first place that I think of if you tell me you're an outdoorsy person, for exactly some of the reasons that Justin just mentioned. We have the horse properties here. We have some absolutely fantastic parks up here, including a regional park just down the road here where they have a disc golf course. And then there's the executive golf course. Of course, this is the part of town that is the closest to Mount Charleston. Mm-hmm. And it's also the part of town that's near the fossil beds, that's near Tule Springs, right? Mm-hmm. So all of these great outdoor activities. The next place that I would point somebody to would probably be down in Henderson. Yeah. Especially if you're into hiking, there's a lot of hiking trails down there right outside of town that are really, really great with absolutely phenomenal views. Oh yeah. And that's going to put you closer to the lake. It's going to put you closer to Lake Mead. It's going to put you closer to Lake Las Vegas. Colorado River, exactly. Somewhere that we've never really talked about on the channel, but we'll definitely be talking about it soon. We want to go out there and do some videos, is Boulder City. Yep. Right? If you're somebody who wants to live the aquatic lifestyle, if you want to center your free time around the lake, then go live by the lake. Yeah. Boulder City. Justin and I are more than happy to help you find a home in that area. We know the area well. My girl and I, we like to get up and jump on the bike. We'll ride out there just to have breakfast, man. It takes about an hour to get there. Sit there. There's a fantastic fantastic cafe out there called the Coffee Cup.
Oh, I've been there a couple times.
Right? Triple D approved. Shout out to Guy Fieri.
Yeah.
The Coffee Cup is one of my favorite places to eat breakfast. And sometimes when the weather's nice, we'll get on the Harley and we'll just ride out there just as a way to pass a nice Sunday morning.
Yep.
But if you're into water sports, if you're into lake sports, fishing, skiing, swimming, what have you, if that's what you want,
small town vibe, history, all that is out there.
I tell you what, Justin, we have been talking about this ever since we moved into this house. I live in a 5-bedroom home because I still have my kids here at home with me. But I'm down to the last 2. They're in high school now. So there is a light at the end of the tunnel. So a relatively normal conversation for myself and Stasha is trying to figure out what are we gonna do afterwards, after the kids are grown and out. Because I'm not gonna need this very, very large house for just the 2 of us. And I'm not necessarily a person who wants space for the sake of having space.
Gotcha.
So I'm trying to figure out where I'm going to go. Boulder City's on my radar.
Oh yeah.
You know, we would love to get one of the little bungalows down there right by the old historic downtown section, you know, remodel it. I always say that the next house I want it to look like Frank Sinatra lived there, but I want all the modern amenities. You know,
you want Frank Sinatra's house with Wi-Fi.
I do. That's exactly what I want. I want Frank Sinatra's house with Wi-Fi and with built-in smart home features.
There you go.
So, but Boulder City is 100% on our radar when it comes time for us to look where we're going next. And we do enjoy outdoors activities. We do enjoy the water. And of course, you guys know that I'm absolutely fanatical about golf. But they got that out there too.
They got several. Yeah.
Oh man, I can't wait to play Cascada.
So Mike had mentioned, you know, he's working towards the end of having his kids in the house and moving on to living that empty nester lifestyle. Myself, my daughter turns 5 in about 3 weeks. So I have a long
You got a ways, buddy.
So Vegas is so family friendly. And you know, we've talked a lot about all the great things that you can do with young ones here. But a lot of these neighborhoods are really built around that family lifestyle. Whether you have a family or not, you might just enjoy that lifestyle. Whether it's gated communities with their own parks and community pools and splash pads, walking trails, being close to really highly rated schools, both public and private, and having a short drive to access things that kids are gonna love to do and you're gonna love to do with your kids. If you're anything like me, you enjoy seeing their faces and watching them experience things that they love. You know, my daughter's real big with animals and nature, so I take her up here to Mike's neck of the woods in the Northwest, where we go to Gilcrease Farms. We do that usually 3 or 4 times a year. We'll pick pumpkins for Halloween, or we'll get some corn for Thanksgiving. Around Christmas time, they do hot apple ciders and all sorts of hot chocolate and all sorts of fun things up there as well. You can get your Christmas trees and decorations. It's just a lot of fun. And then right across the street, you have the farm. I'll take her over there where she can feed the horses and the cows and get chased by the peacocks. She loves that. So it just really depends on that family lifestyle that you want. Schools, play, entertainment, you know, if you want to incorporate some of that outdoorsy environment to your life as well. Vegas really has those neighborhoods. I would say the Northwest is probably one of those. Henderson, Green Valley area, absolutely. And then down in Southwest as well. There's just so many different activities that you can do as a family. And again, even if you're not a family, you just enjoy doing those activities. They're right there at your fingertips in those neighborhoods.
You know, Justin, I think that Vegas really doesn't get enough credit for being the great family town that it is, right?
Yeah.
So Vegas is normally thought of as, you know, a tourist destination, which of course it is. And of course, that's what we're famous for. And we're very grateful for that for all the reasons we've talked about in the past, right? It contributes to our economy, provides so many great jobs. And also, we as locals, we get to reap the benefits of that industry as well. We get to go see the shows, we get all the concerts. If you're into gambling, we have that available to us, what have you. However, Vegas is a great place to raise your family.
Yeah.
We have so many great parks here, so many great aquatic centers here, multiple water parks. We have our own amusement park in the Adventure Dome. We have, you know,
the aquarium. We don't have like a zoo per se, but we do have several places where you can go experience wild animals like the lion habitat, the farm, places like that.
Great, fantastic youth sports leagues here, right? There are any given Saturday, if I'm out either doing my own thing or if I'm out working with clients, and we'll drive by some of these regional parks and they're absolutely packed. with families, doing soccer tournaments, doing little league tournaments, doing, you know, all of these various youth sports leagues.
For sure.
Very, very active in this community. So, you know, don't sleep on Vegas as a place to raise your kids. Don't sleep on it as a good family town, because we really do have the infrastructure to support that here. And
it's only getting better. It
is only getting better. As a matter of fact, I would argue we're getting more family oriented in the community here at large. You guys saw our video on North Las Vegas, and you know, Justin and I are working hard to change people's perceptions of North Las Vegas. Now, don't get me wrong, there are still some neighborhoods that have a ways to go. However, there's a lot of areas of North Las Vegas that are extremely family friendly, with great schools, with great parks, with great youth programs. Vegas has a lot to offer families, and I would say that we have just as much to offer as any other city of comparable size.
Yeah, I think absolutely. Absolutely. And you know, like you mentioned, you know, there are parts of town that still do need work. But I'd argue that name a major metropolitan city that doesn't have parts of town.
Oh yeah, obviously,
that need help and work. So Vegas is definitely becoming that spot. We're seeing families move here all the time. I've helped several families move here. Mike's helped several families move here, and they're thriving. Another thing that Vegas is really known for, and it's becoming even better for, is the other end of it, the retirement life. And I'll let Mike talk a little bit about that.
Sure. So Vegas is a great town for retirees, especially you have the warm weather, you have, you know, year-round sunshine, so you don't necessarily have to deal with the cold and all of the trials and tribulations that come with living somewhere like the Northeast. You know, you're never going to have to shovel your driveway in Vegas. It's never going to happen. You know, I've lived in places like that before. I lived in Colorado for many years, and it's great. There's a reason that retirees tend to move to Florida, Arizona, Nevada, Southern California, right? They tend to like the warmer weather. Tends to be a little bit easier on them as they get older, and it also takes away a lot of the, you know, the hardships that living in some place that has a lot of snow will bring. So Vegas is a great retiree town, and if you were a retiree or a retiree couple and you came to me asking me to help you find your next home, you know, we're going to have a conversation. We're going to see what are the things that are important to you in the community you're looking for. And chances are, you know, the first question I'm going to ask is, do you want to be in a 55 and up community, or do you not want to be in a 55 and up community? That's going to be our starting point. And then from there, we're going to determine what specific amenities you're looking for. But for the purposes of this video, I'm going to talk a little bit about the 55 and up communities here in Las Vegas. And they are spread out throughout the city. However, they tend to be congregated in a couple different neighborhoods. The first place that's going to come to mind is going to be Summerlin. So Summerlin has multiple 55 and up communities, all kind of located around the Red Rock Casino in downtown Summerlin area.
And you might be familiar with it. It's Sun City, Summerlin. So I know there's other Sun Cities in the area.
Right, absolutely. Great value for money there. There's plenty of options out there, both new construction and homes that were built, you know, anywhere from, you know, recently all the way up to maybe 30, 40 years ago.
Yeah.
If you don't necessarily want to live in Summerlin, if you're looking for different amenities, if you're looking, maybe say you're looking for a little lower price point than you can get in Summerlin, there's some fantastic 55 and up communities, again, in North Las Vegas, up there near the Aliante. And we're talking, you know, gated communities with golf courses and beautiful mountain views. You know, everybody thinks of the mountains in Las Vegas. Like Justin said, we're actually in a bowl. We're in a valley. So, you know, people think of the mountains around Las Vegas. They might think of the mountains to the east or to the west. There's actually a really beautiful mountain range to the north. And a lot of people aren't really familiar with that, but the homes of the people up there in the northwest or in North Las Vegas, some of those homes have fantastic views of those mountains. So depending on what you're looking for in a view, depending on what you're looking for, again, do you want to be in a gated community? Do you want to live on a golf course? How much money do you want to spend for your retirement home? If you're looking a little more budget conscious, maybe living up there near the Aliante could be right for you. If you're looking to spend a little bit more, you know, maybe Sun City, Summerlin could be right for you. Maybe Anthem down in Henderson, huge. I just helped a retiree buy a home down there fairly recently, an absolutely gorgeous home on the golf course, beautiful mountain views. And it was just an absolute pleasure helping him buy that home down there. The community was fantastic. The listing agent who lives in the same community went ahead and took myself and Justin and my buyer. We went on a full tour of all of the community centers that came along with the purchase of that home. the access that you have to these centers. We got to walk through there and we got to see the private restaurants in there. We got to see the woodworking shop with the retired guys in there just crafting all sorts of stuff.
The view from that pool overlooking all the valley and the strip was amazing.
I know. I want to. I might be calling that particular buyer come 4th of July and seeing maybe we can't come down and sit next to that pool
absolutely.
and just watch the fireworks from all over the city, because the view from this pool deck covered the whole valley with the strip front and center. It's an absolutely amazing view. The point being is that if you're a retiree or a retiree couple and you're looking here in the Las Vegas Valley, we can absolutely help you. There's so many great options. Whether you want to live in a 55 and up community, or if you want to live in, not in an age restricted community, we're going to be able to help you find exactly what you're looking for. We're going to be able to help you find the best home you can buy for your budget with the amenities that you're looking for, because that's what we love to do here. Particularly, we love working with everybody, but particularly if you're a retired military veteran, you definitely want to come see us. We're gonna help you with that VA loan. I'm gonna help you find the programs. I do have the veteran certification through the NAR, the National Association of Realtors. It qualifies me to help veterans find the home for them and navigate the home buying process with the peculiarities of being a veteran. So of course, we're gonna help you with that. One of the things that Justin and I are working on, and we haven't made an official announcement about this, but I'll give you just a little sneak peek. We're actually working on putting together a program where if you come work with the Moody Olson team and you allow us to help you find your home, we're gonna make donation in your name, either to the Wounded Warrior Foundation or to the Gary Sinise Foundation, Folds of Honor. Yeah, one of these groups, and we're gonna make it in your name, one of these groups that helps the veteran community, because that's something that we're passionate about as a team. I'm passionate about personally as a retiree. If you're a retiree, you're looking to move to Las Vegas, we can absolutely help you guys. So what do you think, Justin? You gonna wrap this thing up?
Well, just to kind of piggyback off what Mike said about your VA loan, not only has Mike gone through all the training and has that experience, he has a VA loan himself, but we also strategically partner with somebody who is very well versed in the VA loan, with Steve Schauer at New American Funding and Linda Vogt at New American Funding, which their information will be linked below in the description of this video. So if you have questions, you're not ready to really reach out to us yet, please reach out to them. And they'll be more than happy to answer any questions you have about VA loans and how they can help you walk through that process. And then when you're ready, Mike and I would be more than happy to help you find that dream home.
You know what? I'm going to make sure that our editors go ahead and put a link to the video that Linda and I did talking about the VA home loan process too. So,
that's great.
If we can go ahead and get that link up there for our viewers, you guys go ahead and click the link. And we did a whole video talking about the VA home loan. If you have more questions beyond that, reach out to Linda. She is absolutely the best. She is a complete expert and a very professional lender. She can help you navigate that process. And then once you figure out where your budget's at and what you're looking for, reach out to us here at the Moody Olson team. You guys know that we are very passionate about serving everybody who wants to come to the Las Vegas area, particularly our veteran community. So reach out to the Moody Olson team. Whether you're moving here next week, next month, or next year, we would love to help you find your dream home here in Las Vegas. Guys, make sure you like and subscribe. Hit that bell notification so you get notified whenever we get new videos up and posted for you. We're doing 2 videos a week of the absolute best real estate content we can bring you guys, because we're passionate about making sure you're informed buyers. And we want you to know just exactly how hard we're gonna work for you if you come work with us.
And if there's anything that you want to see, comment down below. I'll be more than happy to try and get out and film it for you.
All right, guys, we'll talk to you in the next one.